Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of me and Michael talking. We're happy to do it.
About the important things of the day.
You know, we might not get a ton of views, but we enjoy doing it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Thank you to everyone who watches.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And the comments and all that. Like, we do appreciate it. And it does help us in the algorithm.
Even if they are kind of snarky comments.
Yeah. What was that? Riveting content, fellas. Don't know who that is.
Thank you. Keep watching. Yeah.
And thanks to Cal Marie. I said her name last time, but I rhymed it. But you figured out right away that you thought it was good to leave horrible comments on everything we've done. So this is the only way you get to interact with us now, because you're blocked from basically everything else. So hi, Cal. But here we are, Sunday, the day after the 4th of July. We had a good day yesterday.
Yeah.
Gabriel helped me hand out business cards. We were in the parade. My wife decorated the truck, made it look great. I'm going to post photos in this video, so you'll see them. But it was awesome. Gabriel came. My boy helped me hand out cards too, and there was a lot more people than we thought.
No, I've been to the parade. I would say probably 8 out of the last 10 years. And, you know, when you're sitting in one section, you really don't realize how many people are there. When you're walking down the road, it's like, it's actually crazy.
It was nuts. Like, we can't stop talking about it. The population of Colon was right there by the school, just right there by the elementary school. And then, you know, the next 300 feet up to the stop sign, to the stoplight, packed with people. And it was at that moment I actually stopped handing out business cards because I couldn't keep up. There was way too many people. And my boy did excellent. I mean, he handed out business card to people who didn't even want one, but they couldn't tell him no, because just a boy handing them something. So that was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
Got to do a little nogging on my brother.
Yeah, he wore, what did you wear?
It was Dad's Hawaiian shirt. I got my own, but we went out to dinner, I want to say Thursday night.
Yeah.
For his and Kathy's anniversary. Me and Jackson went with him. And I wore mine, and he's seen that, so he broke his out. I was like, damn, dude.
Did he put that musky smell cologne on too? Like,
no, I don't think he wore cologne. Maybe I'm wrong.
Always past that stage.
Yeah. No, we were seated at a little table though. We went to the Prairie Lake Tavern.
Yes. Well, if you went Thursday, most of the time on like Fridays and Saturdays, you can't even get in there.
Well, he made a reservation.
Still on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, it's like such a dinky little table. It was good food, but like the table was so small. I'm like bumping knees with Dad and Jackson. Nice. It was pretty loud in there. But I like the atmosphere.
I'm happy you took my spot. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. Good little brother. What'd you get to eat?
I got the fish and chips basket, which didn't come in a basket, but
interesting.
Actually, and then Dad got the perch basket. He got like three. Yeah, he got like 3 little strips of perch. It was like $4 more than mine. I got 3 massive strips of some mystery fish, but it was delicious.
So Dad got 1.5 perch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
Funny. Me and Deacon and I, however, we went fishing Thursday or Friday, one of those days, maybe Saturday. But we went fishing. We caught a bunch of bluegill, and I caught 0. So that meant he caught all of them. And we brought them home, filleted them. I reminded myself I'm not much of a person that likes doing that.
If you do like filleting fish, you're kind of weird.
It's a little weird.
You know, you're gonna smell like fish for the next day.
Yes, but we cut them. I think there was 6 total. I ended up filleting them, and we cooked them right then. And Deacon just ate most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, loved it. I didn't feel like I should take a bite because I didn't earn it. I did nothing. I had a business. I had a lead call in, and I walked away, and I see Deacon running towards me. I'm like, hold on, buddy. Hold on. Give me a minute. And he's sitting there patiently with hands in his pocket. I like get off the phone, and he's like, yeah, Dad, I got one on the line right now. It's on the side of the road and on the sidewalk. I'm like, perfect. But yeah, he caught them all, and that was fun. You know, it was one of those hot days, though. I was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But,
no, it's been a miserable week.
It has been. A lot of people like in Sturgis and outside of Colon, Bronson don't have power.
I that would be terrible today because it's hot today. The sun's out. Actually, like I think this is the sunniest day we've done a podcast. I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open.
Yeah.
So no, I can't imagine being without power. I did see them working. I did see consumers down on Colon Road doing some work.
Good. So. Yeah, there was a house with a tree on it, and then out by Nana Nunky's, person we know, she has a tree on her house. So that's unfortunate. That's how it works. So with this episode and maybe moving forward, we're just gonna kind of talk about what we want to talk about, and we zero planning.
Yeah, it's just off the shooting from the hip here.
Shooting from the hip. I think we do that best or worse, depends on who's commenting. But one thing I wanted to bring up is because we don't have a lot of large cities near us, but there's a few cities, and you hear a lot about flock cameras. Now, if we kind of dug in to see who maybe created these technologies involved in flock cameras, we could probably find it to be. I would be convinced if someone said, this is who does it. But with flock cameras, I seen something, and we have to give a public service announcement. So PSA to everyone. If you happen to live in, let's just say, Kalamazoo, Michigan, bless you, God bless you.
Thank you.
And you see flock cameras, they're telling you and warning people not to shine lasers at them because I guess you can destroy them. So please do not shine lasers at these cameras.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on all of us, make sure we're all safe.
Yep. And, Big Daddy watching us.
We need that.
Yeah, I mean, if you accidentally run a red light or you don't stop quick enough at a yellow or you roll a stop sign, it's very dangerous. So we want you to get ticketed. So please do not damage these flock cameras or the other company, I forgot the name, that builds cameras like that. Don't damage them with lasers directly into the lens, right?
Yeah. Also, don't spray them with paint or anything like that. Don't be using a sawzall or any battery powered grinder or anything like that to be cutting them down.
I agree, and the reason is because they have our best interest
at heart, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you for finishing. We are on the same page here. They care about us.
Yeah.
Now, sure, a $90 ticket can't hurt the average family, right? And it's for your safety. Yep. And a judge would tell you that. So it's for your safety. So do not damage these flock cameras or the other brand of cameras they have. Probably government assisted or paid through government.
Oh, it definitely is. And that being the case, they're definitely very expensive. Because anything that's it goes right along with insurance. Anything that is something that
is important.
Okay, for example, with insurance, do you really think a doctor's visit would cost a couple grand? Really, if there was no insurance? No, because nobody would freaking go.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the child care centers, daycare centers that charge $750 a week for one kid. It's like they do that because the government is paying. Yeah, they subsidize it. Yep. The government, they don't care about the price tag. They're just But that's all beside the point. It's for our safety.
For our safety. And Gabriel, do you feel like this is common knowledge? Or do you think the common person is listening and going, that's not what happens?
I actually think the common person is, I hate to say it, but I think the common person probably thinks that, insurance is good.
Well, yeah, because, one time they broke their arm and they only had to pay $750 for a cast. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Well, and you see it with ambulance rides. You have insurance, and ambulance rides $750. If you don't have insurance, it's $400.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all a game, and it's a monopoly in some way.
I agree.
It's not like these what are they called? The paramedics. What are they? Is there another name for them?
There's many different hero names for them.
Well, it's not like the paramedics are making, a ton of money. They make $20 an hour.
Yeah, they barely get
paid. And then you got these big companies like they're making money hand over fist.
Yep.
But it's, insurance funded. It's why, like, you got a tree fall on your house. That's why it costs the insurance company $4,000 to have it taken off.
Yep. And then your insurance goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of same what happened with our house last year.
Yep.
Got flooded, paid insurance on the house for 10 plus years, not one issue, flooded, skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but thank you. They paid us to restore the basement back to its
original. You pay them to pay you.
Exactly. And then we pay more.
Yeah.
In the hopes that it doesn't happen again. So that's why I believe we should be mindful of these cameras. Do not shine lasers into the lens of the camera, please.
Yep. Because after all, we would rather the money be going to things like welfare and war in Iran than we would, going to replace these flat cameras that apparently have, a pretty high value in copper wire. I've even heard there's like, a couple grams of gold in each one.
No way.
Yeah. So
just right there in gold, $500-$800.
It's going to cost. Yeah, it's going to cost the taxpayer. It's going to cost the taxpayer money. Okay. So we definitely don't be damaging those. Don't be harvesting their innards for gold and copper.
No, and don't. And if you plan on doing something like that, do not cover your face.
Yeah.
Do not do that. We need to be able to know who's stealing from local, state, or if it's on the federal level. I don't think it is, but
I bet you. I'm willing to bet it's a felony offense. Actually, I'm certain it is.
Really?
Yep. So yeah, just make sure you're not wearing a full face covering.
Yeah. Got to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
It's the law.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's a whole sidebar there we can't get into quite yet, but yeah. But how was your week, Gabriel?
It was hot, dude.
Yeah.
I rediscovered baby powder. I don't think I've used it since, it was used on me when I was maybe 3 years old in pull-ups. But it's a powerful tool.
Gabriel says since he was 3, he's more like 6. Gabriel had an issue, and somehow I think all my little brothers had issues getting out of the diapers. But I don't think they had pull-ups when I was younger.
No,
we're about out of diapers by the time you're 2, and
okay, let's be real. It's a little bit easier on parents to just buy some more diapers or pull-ups and put them on the kid than to really put in the effort to
train them.
I've been seeing stuff about how at 18 months old you can potty train a kid.
Interesting.
Which I do think, yes, it's probably a challenge, but I mean, they're standing, they're walking, they're running around at that age.
True. They can start reasoning, right? They can reason.
I think reason is like something that comes around at a year old.
Okay.
So. Of course, Big Diaper doesn't want you hearing that. Big Diaper, big baby powder
would be, yeah, right. That's funny. So yeah, we haven't really had a busy week on my end. Kind of just doing more of the advertising for the business and preparing for the 4th of July parade. I'm hoping this week coming up will be busy. I think it's going to be somewhat of a warm one again. Not too bad, but yeah, let's just hope I'm busy and we're busy and keep it going. But I kind of want to steer towards more of let's say current events, right?
Pop culture.
I can't really like pop culture wise. Do you think I would? Is there really anything I know pop culture wise?
I don't even really know what pop culture means. I think it means listen, when I say pop culture, I mean current culture. I
think of music for some reason.
Yeah, but it's also I would say it's somewhat political. I'd say it's pretty much just whatever's going on these days. Movies,
my gosh.
Creators, artists.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Speaking of artists, I don't know. I don't think Subway is quite as popular as it used to be.
Oh, interesting.
But
speaking of artists, that was great.
Sandwich artist.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, no. I think what made him great was that $5 footlong a decade ago.
I think it was a little bit before that by a guy named Jared.
Yeah, Jared
Fogel.
Yeah, he made Subway popular.
He made Subway great again, and it was. Yeah, I think that is when it became popular, and because people believed the lie.
Yeah, that he ate Subway like what 3 times a day and lost like some serious amount of weight.
Something like walking 3 miles there, 3 miles back, just to get a 6-inch. Which
come on, who's getting a 6-inch sub, man?
Yeah, no, it's not a real story. No, that's great.
No, but Subway. I do want to talk about this for a second because I'm an understanding person. You know, like a sandwich artist, they're not making. It's not like their art is on display in an art gallery and somebody's going to pay, $100,000 for their artwork. They're not making a ton of money. They're making probably, I think minimum wage is $15 now.
No, not in Michigan.
No.
I think it's still $7.60.
No, it's not.
It has to be.
No, it's not. It's like $15.
There's no way.
Google it. I'm going to continue on. I think minimum wage is like $15. I know it's not 7 because I was $8.15 when I was in like 9th grade when I got my job at a car wash. I was making minimum wage $8.15 an hour.
Okay,
but
it's $13.73.
$13.73. Okay, they want to get it up to 15 now. So either way, like they're making like roughly $15 an hour. It's not really a livable wage, but at the same time.
Now, what do you mean by livable? I'm sorry, I have to stop you.
Livable as in you can, pay your bills and contribute to a savings net, like a safety net of some type. I think that's something people overlook. That's important. You got to be able, like, if you're not making enough money to be able to contribute to your savings and have a safety net of, call it $1,000 and then grow from there up to, I think Bill Ramsey said, or Dave Ramsey says, 6 months of, expenses for an emergency fund. You can't do that on $15 an hour.
Yeah,
especially when rent is $1,100 at a.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
And I am truly playing devil's advocate because I have changed my mind on this a lot. Why are they counting that job to pay for everything like their lifestyle? And when I say lifestyle, I don't mean partying on the weekend, spending a couple $100 drink, like their lifestyle as in surviving. Why are they counting on a lower end wage job? And if you think they should be paid more, do you think the money is actually available to pay more? Or do you think, off of devil's advocate, do you think we've been conditioned to think that it's okay to pay people a certain amount on the low end scale because they're, let's say, flipping burgers?
Yeah. So, okay. I'm right there with you. Like my opinions on this have changed pretty recently.
Same. Yeah.
It's like, listen, I started my first factory job. I made $14 an hour.
Where?
And I was in Sturgis at
Morgan.
Yep.
Okay.
And I mean, I was working my butt off like that. I was moving steel. A lot heavier than a burger patty, a lot heavier than any foot-long bread.
Right.
But I was working my butt off, so like naturally that makes you look down at the person who's flipping the burger. And in a way, I still do think like, hey, like, are you working that hard?
They're pitting you against each other.
That's the
now. They're not sitting around a round table smoking cigars in a dark room going, hey, let's pit these people against each other.
They might actually be.
Maybe, but if they're not, let's say they're not, it's a consequence of what they're doing.
Now, here's the thing. You can't tell me if they're making $15 an hour and I'm paying almost $14 for a sandwich, they're probably making 10 sandwiches an hour. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, there's definitely, I know there's overhead in every business.
For soggy lettuce and smashed tomatoes.
Yep. And like the low quality meats. But all that beside the point, I do want to talk about, because we are conditioned to, like, we are pitted against each other.
Uh-huh.
The thing is at Subway, if you work at Subway, you're not making a sandwich for a billionaire or a millionaire. You're making a sandwich for another average Joe.
Right.
Like, do them a favor and just do it well.
Do it properly.
Don't be for example, I'm on the picky side. I'm not making them put 10 different veggies on it. In fact, I'm making them put 0 veggies on it.
Not even one.
All they got to do is they put the meat, the cheese, they toast it, they pull it out, they put my mayonnaise and whatever other sauce I want on there.
Right.
Hey, go slow until I tell you to stop. Get in. Hey, wait. Go all the way to the edge. All the way to the edge. And then when you're rolling that thing up, don't treat it like it's your ex-girlfriend that you're rolling up tightly into the rug to drop her off into a swamp.
Right.
Listen, I don't want I like sauce on it. I don't want all my sauce all over the freaking paper.
I agree.
This gets me heated, dude.
He's hot.
Like $13 is $14. That's a lot of money to the average person for a sandwich,
I agree. And so maybe it's not what they're getting paid, maybe it's what they're charging that should be making us upset. So one thing, you kind of brought up something that reminded me of this. Since I graduated in 2009, right? So you had the collapse of big banks and very intelligent, smart people that we put trust into failed us again, and going to again highly educated people. But I get out of high school. And I worked at Morgan for a little bit, but I was I was on the line. I forget what line, like line 2, I think they called it, like back doors.
Okay.
And our bumpers, really, back bumpers. And I was making $10 an hour. So I'm working with men who are older and maybe making like $13.50 at that point, right? And the economy collapsed. And, you go the hoorah, pull up bootstraps, stuff like that. And I am now part and immersed in this world where money has fallen, banks are getting bailed out, a certain vehicle company bailed out, and I'm expected to work to make a certain amount of money to pay for my way. Now, if that could be renting, back then it was only like $650 a month, which was a lot to rent in Kalamazoo. I lived in for a year. But they just expect you, like, no, you got this. No, this is your fault. This is your fault you can't buy a home right now. This is your fault that homes went up 25% at this time, but the interest rates shot up, right? Because banks still got to make their money. And this is all your fault, though. Work harder. Work more hours. And I did. I worked the 10-hour days at Morgan. It was maybe 6 days a week, but we didn't work. I think Sundays were always off for whatever reason. But then they kind of push that in your head, right? And the people that say this for the most part are people who happen to be quite a bit older than us, who lived in a time, and this is, again, like where I definitely like switched how I feel on this, that had more opportunities. Oh, you make your own opportunity. No, you don't, right? You had homes that were 2 years your annual income. That's how much you paid for homes. And now we're paying up to 14, 15 times our annual income. So just because you had 18% interest on your home and we're paying 4 to 5%, and you're acting like, well, we had to pay high interest. Give me that high interest and cheap home, and I'll give you my low interest and expensive home.
Yeah.
Big difference, right? I know you guys can't see that because it was your time and all that. But I'm so sick of hearing these older people who had more opportunity, who got to take more chances, who had more, let's say it, more family closeness to be able to help each other. We're collapsing on that edge too, where families aren't sticking together any longer because everyone's stressed out. When everyone's stressed out, everyone's kind of panicking. Nobody's there to help, another side of the family or a brother or something like that. So everything's just slowly crumbling around us, right? And I'm not even talking about now COVID prices. I'm talking about back then when I got out of high school. You hear all this and it just kind of frustrates you a little bit because then you always are told, well, it's your generation's fault. It's the millennials, right? Because I'm a millennial. It's the millennials. I don't know a harder working group of people than millennials. And I mean that. They work, let's just say they work as hard as the older what is that, X or whatever up there.
Yep.
Let's say they work just as hard as X. X is going to come out way more on top than the millennials below them when it's millennials' turn to get up in that age group.
Mm-hmm.
X will have almost everything they need because, yes, they worked for it, right? They earned it. Well, so are millennials. And so is what? Z below
Zoomers.
us? Yeah,
Gen
Zoomers.
Z.
But so they're also working hard, right? But they are not going to have the same opportunity, the same safety nets, the same cash flow, the same liquid cash, the savings, 401ks, pensions. Mm-hmm. Social Security is out the window. I mean, how we're going to have to build more printing presses to keep up with Social Security payments. And yeah, we know you guys earned that, right? Because you paid into it. Well, so are we, right? So at some point, where do we cut the head off? Just, it's a Band-Aid. Rip it off. We're done.
Dude, nothing like...
And by the way, I have to say, if you're counting on Social Security to live and you're 60, 70, 80 years old, that means you made mistakes in the past when it was easier to be more successful. Yeah. You failed. That's okay.
No,
don't blame the younger people.
Being in business for yourself, you come across those old people that are like, I'm on a fixed income, and it's like, oh, so you're on your husband's pension, you're you got a fully funded retirement fund, you're collecting Social Security, you're living in what is now a $500,000 house.
Yeah, but when he bought it, $79,000.
Literally.
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm on a fixed income too. It's just like, it varies.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fixed at I make decent money, sometimes it's like I ain't making shit.
Yeah, we're not eating this week. Not me. You know what I mean.
Michael just cooked us some steaks. He's a steak eating guy.
Yeah, so we'll continue on, but I remember a couple weeks ago I was talking to Gabriel about cooking steaks and about how he was a better cook than me when it comes to steaks. I didn't want to say this after he told me this because I wanted a whole different podcast. He ate my steak and you said, what?
It was good. It was better than mine.
Better than his.
But okay. Yeah, okay. Here's my thing with steak, though.
It was on a stovetop, by the way. It wasn't even a grill.
Okay, yeah, but that's a better way to cook it anyways.
I agree with that.
I listen, if you're going to cook my steak on a grill, you're going to mess it up.
Yeah. It's too much direct heat.
Uh-huh. But, no, personally, I like a steak. Don't get me wrong. I like to be hacking into meat with a knife. It feels cool, whatever. But when I cook a steak, I'm also slicing a nice sub bun. I'm throwing that on the pan with some butter, toasting that boy up. I'm melting some cheese, dude. I'm slicing that steak up.
This would be blasphemy if I was all powerful.
Dude, it is so. Listen, a steak and cheese sandwich, I would take that 9 times out of 10 over just a steak.
My steak I cooked you?
Yeah.
Or would you take the leftovers and make a sandwich out of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would at least enjoy the steak first before you screwed it.
Listen, if you had sub buns in there and I like a good, I'm gonna mess it up. Ciabatta. I think it's Italian. I don't know. It's like a nice hard. It's like a hard bread. It's thin slicer.
It's Italian, but
butter.
We make it here. We just name it that.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And it tricks people into buying it.
But anyways, yeah. Thanks for the steak, dude. It was good.
Oh, no, you're welcome. I actually enjoy cooking for people. I do.
Yeah. No, I hadn't eaten yet this morning, but I got about halfway through mine and I was full. Michael's already polishing his off. He's like, here, I'll take it.
You had a T-bone. I had a strip. My strip was this big strip. But if I just eat that once a day, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's literally how I can eat.
I think Michael sucked the bone dry.
Yes, I did. It's a dehydrated bone right now.
But yeah, no, anyways, like we were talking, prices are up. Older generations had it easier. Okay, but listen.
But you love when they argue that, though, that they don't.
Here's I also want to say this. You do have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's not listen. It might not be fair, but it is what you have to do. Otherwise, you're just gonna become a statistic of some type. You're not gonna have a successful life. There does come a point when you've made enough money where the money starts to work for you. And listen, it might have been easier to do back in the day.
Yeah, you might have been 32, 35 when that started to happen back in the day. Now it might be in your 40s.
And but that's what it takes now.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be all doom and gloom, but Gabriel is right.
Like at the end of the day, you have to. It sucks. You have to pick yourself up by them bootstraps, tie them nice and tight, sprinkle some baby powder in your underwear, and get to work, man. I mean, I know that pretty much goes against everything we've been saying, but it is just the reality. There is no.
Listen, there's no other option though. So it's like you could do, what we said. I feel like was true leading up to that, but you also don't just sit back and do nothing.
Yeah, you can't.
Right? Like that's never been us in the first place, anyways. Like we're always trying to do something more. Right? Is leaving my job of 11 years to go work at this baby formula making factory very close to here, and because it was a bigger, better opportunity, and then I kind of worked my way up there, right?
Yep.
And then just like what happens to a lot of people, you just kind of get kicked out. There you go. Good. Thank you for your service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you just kind of got to keep going. Funny enough, that place doesn't offer pension for new hirees for the last 2 years, and everyone always thinks it's a high-paying job, and they took $10 off per hour for starting wage. And it's hilarious, right? Because I still got people I know who are older that go, "That's a high-paying." Okay, it was, it was, but again, millennials and the younger group, Z, we're going to take the brunt of that force. So on behalf of all millennials and Zoomers, I want to say you're welcome to everybody who's older. You're welcome. We're going to keep it going. We're going to pay just enough to where they don't have to build 1,000 printing presses a week, only a couple hundred to keep up with your Social Security payments. And you're welcome for all that. I know you earned it. Well, so did we, but we're not getting it. You're welcome.
Yep. Nope. And then when you do decide to sell your house, even though you got 3 kids or so, when you decide to sell it and take home your winnings, your lottery winnings, essentially, travel, enjoy the finer things in life, like you haven't already.
Yeah.
Just remember, it's all about you.
It's all about you. It's not about the 3 kids that you had a hand in raising and love to pieces and would do anything for, except that.
It's estimated that, listen, I know it's quite a range. I can't remember if it's 2040 or 2050. The average home price will be $1 million. That's my son getting screwed.
Yes.
And there's going to come a time, if we make it there, a couple generations from us, where they're going to be like, dang, dude, dad's generation had it so easy in comparison. But the thing is this is why this generation has to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. We have to make life better for the people that come next.
Yeah.
We have to be the ones who, I'm not saying think about your neighbors, but think about your family.
Yeah, go back to family.
Yep.
Just at least go back to family. And when you brought up the older people selling their homes to enjoy the finer things in life, like their 70s and 80s, as whatever that looks like.
They mainly sleep, but then they also go out on their golf cart and they're looking people's windows and stuff, and they're looking at oh, that it's junky.
Yeah.
We should call the city council.
DWP, call them right now.
Yeah.
Let's fine them for not being able to mow their yard, right?
Yeah, they only work 80 hours a week. They can't find time between that and family and 3 kids and
lazy.
Yeah, lazy.
That's laziness right there. Absolutely laziness. We do know it's happened to few people we know where they do sell the house and kids are kind of. And here's the argument I've heard. It's an argument. I just don't agree with it. It's not our responsibility, right? It's not our responsibility to take care or to leave something for our kids. I just want, and I know this person or other people have said this, they can't do this exercise because you have to be really self-involved to do this properly. Sit on the outside of that box of that saying of it's not my responsibility. They need to earn their own. Step outside of it. Look at it. Clear mind. And see how big of a prick you are for saying that. The house I own with my wife, right? whatever happens to us later on in life, whatever money is the equity, whatever those fancy words those smart people created that also crashed our economy multiple times, right? And pulled out the bottom on millions of people and caused a lot of death and stuff like unaliving themselves. People don't remember that from 2008, 2009, right? It's very convenient. Just remember, or with our house will be going to our kids.
Yeah.
There is no, we paid off our house. Now we could sell it and buy a motor home and travel the country. We just do that every summer, go somewhere else new. We don't have to do that, right? And I know you have to also, to get to my opinion, you have to not be, you got to have not a high ego or think highly of yourself, right? Or think you've made it all on your own, right? Nobody helped you on the way. It's all yours. I don't agree with those opinions. I think we should always be thinking about helping, like your boy would be good. I mean, as long as, we're here for a long time, your boy will always have my kids, and he'll have the greatest uncle of all time, which is me. But it's that's kind of how like family's supposed to work.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
You don't see it anymore. And now, okay, when I say that, you then got the people. By the way, I'm thinking of certain people. I know what they would say. That's how I like come to conclusions. I always think of like shoe on other foot. Obviously, there's still families that think like that, right? When I say families aren't like that anymore, yes, you could find a family that's still like that. It's not as prevalent any longer.
No, and honestly, you want to know where it's most prevalent is in foreign families.
Yeah.
And there's multiple circumstances why that could be.
Yeah.
But you don't see your white families staying super close to each other, being there to be a community for each other. But whereas on the other hand, you'll see like, an Indian family.
Yeah.
They own a liquor store, they own 3 gas stations, and their kids are then they're going off and they're owning their own liquor stores
because they've seen mom and dad do it. They kind of got a taste for it. They know what it takes,
and they stick together. We're a different culture. I get it.
Yeah.
Where we all like, listen, I don't want to be living with my family necessarily either. But man, can you imagine if more families just bought a big piece of land, and had like several cabins built on it?
Yeah.
First of all, it'd be way cheaper than everybody just buying their own place.
Here's the thing, I had to throw this in real quick. You could do that, but the second your sons or daughters go out and get married and move in their significant other in that home, and then that divorce happens, that community starts splitting.
Yeah.
Right. Like just a thought process there. Like that's how that would happen, right?
Yeah. That's another thing though, is like divorce is like way more prevalent in white culture.
Yeah.
I would say.
I actually don't know the exact numbers. I just know on average it's like 50%, like for everybody.
Oh yeah, 50% of first marriages end in divorce, and then 75% of second marriages end in divorce. Yeah. So
keep going, guys.
Yeah, if you failed the first time, try again.
Yeah, just keep going. I mean, there's really no punishment
on the third marriage. So
what's funny is we can't say why this is funny, because it's between me and you, but they can keep going on their second marriage, third marriage, but there's no punishment, right? But heaven forbid you do something wrong twice and you get caught. Something specific, I don't want to say. It can almost ruin your life.
Yeah.
I wish we could get into that.
I
know.
Maybe.
But you can keep getting married and having multiple kids and always be a step parent and think you're making a difference and all that. And by the way, yes, there's a step parent out there again.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be the first to say things happen. People end up unhappy. People get selfish. I've been selfish myself.
Well, being unhappy is not a reason to get divorced. I'll die on this hill. Do you want to die against me on this hill, or do you want to agree with me? Being unhappy is not a reason to divorce.
Well, being unhappy is kind of just a part of life, anyways.
Exactly, I agree with that. Go to church. Seriously, go to church.
Well, I seen a quote that said,
"Find that community."
Everything. I'm gonna butcher this quote. It said,
"Oh, dude, that's all."
Everything passes. So if you're happy, enjoy that, but realize that it's going to end. And when you're sad, obviously you got to go through that, but realize that too is going to end.
And it also makes you appreciate the good parts of life, the happiness you will find. And the goal of life is not actually to be happy. Like we have to also
I think it's a symptom. I think happiness is a symptom of doing your best.
Our grandma, she would always be happy.
Mm-hmm.
She'd always say, think positive. And I'm not that human. That I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I try. I would try. I would even lie. Like, okay, grandma, you're right. I'll walk away still even angrier, right? Because now I'm angry that she has that ability to do that and I don't. And I wish I did. Like, think positive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That's also not what life is about. Like, I truly think we've gotten so far away. And I think why our culture is like crashing and burning, but it's kind of hard to see if you're just not really paying attention. We're moved away from family. We've moved away from God. We think mocking religion, right? Christ. We have this, and this is another stupid example that I know people find stupid, but we seen a lot of liberals yesterday celebrating the 250th year of the United States, the greatest country on earth. Now, of course, some people call themselves liberals, and they're not really liberals, or leftists, or Marxists, or Leninists, or Stalinists, or Maoist, or whatever. Whatever they like to name themselves, it's always some stupid name, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we also have fallen away as a country, like from being proud, and we're allowed to complain about the country we live in. It's still the greatest country on earth, but we've fallen away from family, religion, and pride in your country, and not pride like bad pride, but like being proud, like you have a part of this, like you have skin in the game, right? I have skin in the game to be somewhat successful, so I'm not tearing down the rest of the community. I can help the rest of the community if I have extra, and that includes neighbors and friends. You don't see it any longer. So what we're seeing is a slow burn. So it's hard for people to see, but it's a slow burn happening around us. And then you might have people like me who isn't the greatest speaker, right? I'm terrible at this. I'm butchering every other word. But you can see it and you try to like tell people like, yeah, I think like things are kind of failing and falling apart. But when you're older and you've had somewhat of a decent life and you're in a good standing, you will look at someone like me and go, that's not true. Everything's all right. Everything will be okay, right? Because you got that positive backing. And I feel like that isn't the truth happening. I feel like stuff is crashing and burning. Prove me wrong. Change my mind.
Yeah, no,
Change my mind. The world is burning.
I have to agree, but at the same time, if you really do get out of your head, which is hard, I don't do it often. I like to think, I don't like to think, but I feel like I think more than most people, even though that's probably not true.
But no, I will actually say I think Gabriel is telling the truth. It just sounds bad that we are putting ourselves in that, like we think more than the average person. That's not what we're saying.
It's just
the inner dialogue in both of our brains that we talk about between us is wild.
Yeah. So, sometimes you do, like what Grandma said, think positive. You got to listen. I'm in a, crappy situation right now that I'm trying to get through. And, it is easy when, you had a bad few years. You're like, man, everything's falling apart. Everything sucks. Nothing's going to get better. With that mindset, yeah, nothing actually is going to get better. But if you just, it's like when you got to eat shit.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? You gonna nibble it? You gonna like take a little nibble and chase it with some milk?
You're gonna smile?
No.
Are you gonna say thank you?
No, you're not. But also, you still just gotta eat it. The best bet is fill your mouth up, chew, swallow, repeat. I mean, sometimes you just got to do it. And, that's where we're at. If you think positive about it, you'll come out the other end with a better outlook. And listen, I know we've had conversations this week. And Michael, I appreciate you standing up for me, dude. It really it makes me happy, bro. Like, I know I got somebody who, you have your opinions, but at the same time,
we don't even agree on them.
Yeah, at the same time, you're my brother, and I'm gonna defend you. That's I mean, that's the premise of what we kind of been talking about this whole time.
Yeah, so not many people are gonna know what we're talking about.
No.
Here's like something that's crazy to say. We have to watch like the words we say. And I told my wife this too. By the way, I would be an ardent defender of my wife because there's loyalty there, and I think loyalty is something that I take above everything else. I don't take you smiling and asking how my day is. It feels fake. I don't take you. I gotta watch what I say. What I take is the loyalty aspect. When I can call Gabriel and ask for something, and he'll do it. Or he calls me and he knows I'll help him with whatever. Besides moving, never call me to help move your house. I've done every move on my own. I don't want help because I don't want other people asking for help. But loyalty really is like the number one thing. Why isn't there more loyalty? And with my wife, with Gabriel, the loyalty is there. And so when let's say Gabriel did something terrible, or whoever did something terrible, and it was an accident, but it resulted in something that was bad. I'm trying hard not to. And here I am going to be defending him. It's just the way it is. You may not like it, but that's your problem, not mine. And it's maybe if you could look into yourself and ask why you don't like it. So I'm going to continue doing it. I don't care. And another thing I thought of, and I told Gabriel this like a few times in the last few months. But I also wish, besides my wife is pretty good at this. Screw it. Like going to rehab, my wife was super supportive, right? Not many people were, or they go like, I hope you feel better, right? Blah, blah, blah. I hope you get better. I went to rehab, got better, almost 5 years, completely sober right now. And no, you don't lose weight when you stop drinking. I gained all the weight after I quit drinking. Obviously, the addiction goes in a different path, but it's not as devastating to family or yourself. But, my wife would support me even when it embarrassed. I'm not saying it embarrassed her. She never even said that. I'm just saying this. Let's say it embarrassed her. She supported me. Let's say there was shame there. She still supported me and defended me. When I got out, supported me, defended me. When silly, stupid things have happened in the last few years since being sober, like somebody bringing alcohol to the house, or constantly asking me if I want to drink, and they know that like I'm not drinking because I can't. She supported me, defended me. When it comes to Gabriel, I will do the same thing. But I always kind of wanted, up until Melissa, I didn't have really anybody like that for me, but I always felt like I was willing to do it for my closest friends, which I'm not friends with anymore because they still all drink. Like I had to cut everybody out. But I was always that way with my friends. Always supported and defended them in every way I could possible, right? Even when you're wrong, you can still defend them. It's fine. It's loyalty, right? What are you trying to prove to other people? You should be proving to your friend that you're there standing with them, or your brother or your spouse, right? So when it comes to Gabriel, long story, stupid story, by the way. You cut all this, don't care. But when it comes to Gabriel, I don't care. I'm going to defend him. It's just what it is.
No, and I think it does come down to a cultural thing again.
Yeah.
You don't see, man, you just don't see that from white people.
No.
You really don't. But okay. But then other cultures, other races.
Italian people, by the way.
It could be.
They defend each other. There's 4 families in a household on average in Italy. 4 generations in one house. Could be because their economy sucks or government still has that iron-fisted Marxist feel. But they stick together.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and it's like, I mean, we've seen recently, like, somebody from your culture could murder somebody in cold blood.
Yeah.
And you still defend, and you, like, obviously they're wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah, and obviously they're wrong.
It doesn't make us mad to see that. What we think is, man, I wish that would happen. I wish it would be shoe on other foot, right? Instead, we'd lose half of the people that we thought were close to us.
Yep.
And they would just start shouting in our faces about how we're evil, right?
And how we deserve worse.
Not saying they're wrong. Again, like shoe on other foot. Like I get it, but we just don't see it on our side. It's not there anymore, and it's terrible. It's frustrating when you kind of think of life this way and you see it crumbling the way it is. It really puts you down.
Yeah. So I mean, long story short,
extremely long story.
Love your family. You know, do what you can for them. Help them in the ways that you can. Look after your community. Do your part. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Go the extra mile. Take that extra step. Be the person that you want in your life. Be the person you wish you had in your life.
Oh, good point.
Because eventually, if enough people are doing that, then everybody's going to have that person in their life.
Yeah, and have tons of kids. But don't be an Elon Musk, tons of kids, where you have to travel from different sides of the country to see him. Right? He has 14 kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got the money for it, but...
No, but let's say you spend 1 hour with your kid a day. That's 14 hours, right?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, no, it is. It is impossible. But, you know...
Elon Musk spreading the human race.
He's gonna be like Genghis Khan, dude. Like, half the population's gonna have his genetics.
900 years, right? It'll be half of Europe is Elon Musk.
Descendant of Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's like if you have at least 2% or more, right, you get like $1 million check in 2022.
It comes from his like $20 trillion
net worth.
Yeah.
By then you might be able to buy a trampoline with that money, right? It's not going to be very much.
Yeah, maybe you'll get that pool for your kids, but
what are we doing on time?
We're at like 50-some minutes.
50-some minutes. We blessed you people with this much time talking about nothing. Be grateful.
Yeah.
I mean, I really am looking forward to those negative comments again, but negative comments masked and positivity.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this. Michael, he gets a little down. He's like, man, we only had 18 views on the last one. I'm like, hey, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
You know, it probably, honestly, people say that. I don't know how long it took to build Rome, but I imagine it was quite some time.
It took 500 years to collapse.
So we're just gonna keep doing it, and honestly, we just enjoy it. We feel like we're putting good information out there. Whether you think that or not, that's your opinion.
That's beside the point.
Yeah, we really don't care. So keep watching. We'll be back next week with some more riveting content and
with us fellas.
Yeah, so we are evolving into something else. I don't know, maybe you guys can give us some chat. Give us some
Come on, chat. Is that what we're supposed to yell, chat?
Chat.
Come on, chat.
Give us some ideas. What should we name ourselves here?
I'll change my name legally right now. What should we name ourselves, chat?
So, the entrepreneur experience, it might die, but
not in us.
No. The experience is there.
I just walked 3 miles in a parade yesterday. I mean, it almost died on mile 2. But
dude, the walk back to my truck was actually more painful. That was a long walk.
Because nobody was cheering for
Literally.
you. Yeah, it was a longer walk back.
Plus, I didn't have my big brother there making me look really good.
Yeah, right.
No, but chat, give us some ideas. What should we call ourselves? My idea, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Average white boys.
Average AWB.
Average white boys, or really any variation of that name. I like it because we are just your average guys.
Average boys of
white color, probably descendant of 12 different nations of Europe.
No, I'm more like Nordic.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Mom says she's like 4 different things in one. I'm sure Dad's got a few in him. So
yeah, Dad is a Cleveland, so that was just a made up name after already coming here. That was probably given to him.
Which I was convinced.
Not him, but
I was convinced we were related to the President Grover.
We are related.
I don't think we are. I think that listen, I'll live by it. But I do think that there was just another Grover Cleveland in our line.
He was that 1/3 uncle that would stop by at family reunions, and nobody liked him, but Grover's here, so yeah, he didn't get stuck in a bathtub.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that name should make a comeback. It's kind of a cool name.
Was it Grover that was stuck in a bathtub?
I think he did die some funny way like that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely dead. Unalived.
Yeah, he did pass away in some weird way.
Yeah, he moved on some weird way, I think you're supposed to say.
Yeah. His soul left his body, left the earth.
We just don't know what direction.
Yeah. Up or down, left or right, who knows?
Yeah.
But no, we'll be back with some more riveting content next week.
Yeah.
So just your average white boys chat. Am I mogging Michael right now?
I don't know. I feel like I have this thing where you may be mogging me, but I think I'm the safer pick.
Yeah.
All right. AWB, we're out.
Thanks, guys.